femur. For the side determination and the anatomical position, okay, so here this is a whole femur. For the side determination, okay, you should know the certain points, that is, this is called the head of femur that lies medially. The anterior surface of the shaft of femur is convex forward, and the lesser trochanter lies posteriorly, and intercondylar fossa lies posteriorly. Okay, these are the certain gross feature of femur you should kept in your mind. Okay, in the anatomical position, you can hold the femur with your hand from the shaft. Okay, and these points should be kept in mind. Head is medially upward. Okay, and these two condyle, that is, this is the medial condyle and this is the lateral condyle that lies in the flat horizontal plane. Okay, so these are the certain points that you have to keep in your mind. Next, parts of femur. Okay, for the parts of femur, this is the upper end, this is a shaft, and this is the lower end. So upper end, shaft, and this is the lower end. So this is the anterior aspect of the femur. Upper end having the head, this is the neck, greater trochanter, lesser trochanter you can see from the posterior aspect, intertrochanteric line from the anterior aspect, and the intertrochanteric crest from the posterior aspect. One by one we will see. First we will see the head. Here you can see the head of the femur is joined with the acetabulum cavity of the hip bone. So it forms the ball and the socket joint of the synovial variety. Next, about in the head of femur, that lies the fovea. Fovea is a depression or the pit. Along with, what are the attachment in the fovea? This is the round ligament of head of femur, the green color, that is attached from the fovea to the acetabulum. Okay, also the foveolar artery is passing through it. So this is the attachment over the fovea. Next, in the neck, this is the anterior aspect of the neck. This is the head of femur. This is the anterior surface of the neck that extend up to the intertrochanteric line. It is whole intracapsular in origin, or is the intracapsular. This is the upper border. This is the lower border. From the posterior aspect, this is the posterior surface of neck. So that is about the neck. Here also you can see this is the posterior surface of the neck. The neck and the shaft angle. The neck and the shaft angle in the male, it is a 125 degree, and it lays in female. upper end. Another feature, that is the greater trochanter having the apex. This is the anterior surface hole. This is the lateral surface of the greater trochanter, and in the lateral surface there is one ridge that comes downward and forward, and also this is the medial surface. Okay, this is the trochanteric fossa. So the greater trochanter having the apex, this is the anterior surface, this is the lateral surface, and this is the one ridge downward and forward. Okay, and this is the medial surface. This is the trochanteric fossa. Gluteus minimus inserted over the anterior surface, and gluteus medius over the lateral surface over the ridge inserted. Okay, here all the muscle inserted over the medial surface, that is on the apex, the piriformis, obturator internus, and two gemelli above the trochanteric fossa. Here obturator externus in the trochanteric fossa. Okay, here also there is one tubercle here, that is called the quadrate tubercle, and in the quadrate tubercle quadratus femoris muscle is inserted. Okay, again in the medial surface, piriformis at the apex of the greater trochanter, gemellus superior, gemellus inferior with obturator internus. Okay, this is the gemellus superior, gemellus inferior. This muscle is obturator internus. They are inserted just above the trochanteric fossa, and in the trochanteric fossa there is a obturator externus muscle. Okay, this is a greater trochanter and this is a lesser trochanter. So which are the muscle inserted over the lesser trochanter? So here this is the iliacus muscle and this is a psoas major muscle. These both muscle, they are inserted over the lesser trochanter, iliopsoas. Okay, both muscle are together called iliopsoas. They are inserted over the lesser trochanter. Now this is the intertrochanteric line that extends, okay, from the greater trochanter, runs downward and it goes in the posterior aspect, and below it continues as a spiral line, and below with the medial lip of linea aspera. Okay, this is the medial lip of linea aspera. So in the intertrochanteric line there is two ligament. One ligament is called iliofemoral ligament. Okay, comes from the ilium, iliofemoral, femur, upper band, and this is the lower band of the iliofemoral ligament. This is the pubofemoral ligament, comes to the lower part of the intertrochanteric line. Okay, these two ligaments are attached over the intertrochanteric line. In the intertrochanteric crest, we have discussed about the quadrate tubercle. Okay, here lies this is the intertrochanteric crest, and here this is the quadrate tubercle. Okay, this portion is called quadrate tubercle, and in the quadrate tubercle muscle inserted is the quadratus femoris. Now comes to the shaft. This is the middle one third of the shaft. So the shaft is divided into the upper one third, middle one third, and the lower one third of the shaft. This is the anterior aspect of femur. This is from the posterior aspect, middle one third of shaft. So we will describe now the shaft, its border and its surfaces. Now what are the borders? So here in the shaft we will see this is a lateral border, okay, this is a lateral border. This is the posterior border, that is called the thickened linea aspera is the thickened to form the posterior border having the two lip, medial lip and the lateral lip. Okay, so here again we will see this is a medial border and it is rounded. Okay, both the border, medial and lateral border, are rounded. So this is the medial border. This is a lateral border. This is lateral border. This is from anterior aspect. This is a posterior border in the form of linea aspera. Okay, so this is all about the border of the shaft of femur. Three border: medial border, lateral border and the posterior border. Now comes to the surfaces. What are the surfaces? This is the anterior surface that is present between the medial border and the lateral border. This is the medial surface present between the posterior border and the medial border. Lateral surface present in between the lateral border and the posterior border. This is okay, so this is the anterior surface present in between the medial border and the lateral border. Medial surface present between the posterior border and the medial border. So this is medial surface. Lateral surface present between the posterior border and the lateral border. Okay, now we will see some of the attachments over the anterior surface. So medial surface is somewhat bared, means no attachment. So in the anterior surface, one muscle that is called the vastus intermedius is originate from the anterior surface and also from the lateral surface. So anterolateral surface, major portion of the anterior surface, and below this there is a articularis genu. So vastus intermedius and here there is articularis genu. Now in the posterior aspect, this is a lateral lip of linea aspera. Above it is continuous with the prominent ridge that is called the gluteal tuberosity. Okay, so this is the lateral lip of the linea aspera. Above it is having the prominent ridge that is called the gluteal tuberosity. So this gluteus maximus muscle that is inserted over the gluteal tuberosity. However, we will see this is the gluteus maximus muscle. Okay, deep fiber they are going to insert it over the gluteal tuberosity. So this is called the gluteal tuberosity from the posterior aspect. Now this is the medial lip of linea aspera. We have seen the lateral lip of linea aspera. This is the medial lip of the linea aspera. Okay, and above it is continuous with the spiral line that also we have discussed, and it continues with the intertrochanteric line. So medial lip of linea aspera, lateral lip of linea aspera. In between these two there is an intermediate area. So what are the structure attached over the linea aspera, or you can say from the posterior part of the femur or in the linea aspera? So you have to understand this figure. This is the medial, so this is medial side, this is lateral side. So medial to lateral. Okay, this is medial. On this side the head of femur that comes to the medial side. So this is the medial. So here this is the medial, the vastus medialis. After that there is a medial intermuscular septum that is attached to the medial lip of linea aspera. Then comes to the adductor longus muscle. Then comes adductor brevis. Then comes the adductor magnus muscle. Then posterior intermuscular septum. Then comes the short head of bicep femoris, red color, short head of bicep femoris. Then comes the vastus lateralis muscle, and then comes vastus intermedius. So these are the muscle from medial to lateral, all the structures in the linea aspera. Okay, in the other way you can remember, in the medial lip there is a medial intermuscular septum. In the lateral lip of linea aspera, lateral lip of intermuscular septum. And in the middle, in between these two, there is a posterior intermuscular septum is attached. And in between medial intermuscular septum and posterior intermuscular septum, there is a adductor longus, adductor brevis, and adductor magnus muscle. And in between the posterior intermuscular septum and lateral intermuscular septum, there is a short head of bicep femoris. Okay, so these are all the structure attached over the linea aspera. Okay, this is the same figure that we have described. Now comes to the lower end. This is the lateral condyle. Okay, this is medial condyle above. This is medial supracondylar line. Above the lateral condyle, lateral supracondylar line. And in between these two there is a popliteal surface. Okay, so again medial condyle, lateral condyle, this is from the posterior aspect. Above medial condyle, medial supracondylar line. Above lateral condyle, lateral supracondylar line. And in between these two, this is the popliteal surface. Here also you can see this is the lateral condyle, this is the medial condyle, this is the popliteal surface, lateral supracondylar line and medial supracondylar line. Okay, one feature that you have to note it, that is this is the adductor tubercle over the medial condyle. So this is the medial condyle, this is the adductor tubercle, and This is a intercondylar fossa. This is called intercondylar fossa. So now we will see what are the attachments. Okay, here this is a medial and this is a lateral. Okay, this is the lateral side. Okay, the lateral head of gastrocnemius. This is the medial head of gastrocnemius. In the lateral side above the gastrocnemius there is one muscle that is called plantaris muscle. In the intertrochanteric line or intercondylar line, okay, this is the lateral condyle, this is a medial condyle. Intercondylar line, there is a capsular ligament is attached. Also there is two ligament. One is anterior cruciate ligament that is attached to the posterior, okay, somewhat to the, this is a lateral condyle, and anterior aspect to the medial condyle, that is a posterior cruciate ligament. These are all the attachment over the lower end of the femur from the posterior aspect. Okay, here this is the articular surface for the patella. Okay, so this is the articular surface for the patella. Now this is the lateral surface of the lateral condyle. So this is the capsular ligament. Below it, over the lateral surface, there is a groove for the tendon of popliteus. So the popliteus muscle have a intra or intracapsular origin. Now the last part, that is a ossification. Femur have one primary center and 1, 2, 3, 4 secondary center. We will focus only the important part, that is a medico-legal importance of the lower end of femur. So secondary center of the lower end of femur that appears at the 9th month of intrauterine life. What do you mean by medico-legal importance? Okay, in which the also the police inquiry comes. Okay, that's why it is called the medico-legal importance. What happen if the baby is found dead after 8 months, or if you don't know the age of the baby, then we are taking the X-ray of the lower end of the femur and the upper end of the tibia. Both the secondary center of the lower end of femur and upper end of the tibia that appears at the 9th month of intrauterine life. If this center is appeared, then we can say that the baby can live independently. Okay, so the death is due to some other reason. Okay, so this is the medico-legal importance of the secondary center of the lower end of the femur. Thank you so much.